Welcome to the NASP channel, where we explore breakthroughs shaping the world of workplace safety. Today, we're talking with Tamanna Prashar, the Chief Operating Officer at Hound Labs, Inc. Their innovative Hound Cannabis Breathalizer is a device that's changing the game in detecting recent cannabis use. At the heart of Hound Labs' mission is a commitment to enhance workplace safety and fairness through technology. Their Hound Cannabis Breathalizer is the first of its kind, capable of pinpointing recent use of cannabis, regardless of how it's consumed, with any critical time frame. But before we begin, if you haven't already, be sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons so you don't miss out on any of our videos. With that being said, let's get to the interview.
So, Tamanna Prashar, I am the Chief Operating Officer with Hound Labs. I've been with the organization for about 20 months, and my primary role is to be able to take the science that our research and development team works on and being able to transport that into an actual product that we then commercialize and sell based on the voice of customer from the field. And so I've been doing this for over 20 years in many different types of industries, primarily diagnostics, implantables, and regulated industries as well.
How does the Hound Cannabis Breathalizer's ability to detect recent cannabis use contribute to improving workplace safety and reducing incidents like accidents or injuries?
Drug testing has, in essence, been a proven method to be able to detect for workplace use of drugs. Many tests that are out there right now that are testing for cannabis, primarily whether they are oral fluid, their urine, or if they are hair, test for past use of days, weeks, or even months. Differently, the Hound Breathalizer is really detecting recent use. And what we've been able to show is that based on clinical studies that we've conducted, once an individual smokes and consumes cannabis, our detection window is 2 to 3 hours. And so that recent use or that recency of detection ensures that when individuals show up to the workplace, we are able to detect for that specific time frame, making it so that people are able to enter and be safe and prevent injuries or post-accidents that can occur.
Does the device detect when marijuana has been consumed in other forms, such as edibles and tinctures? And what is the effective time range for results?
So we definitely consider smoking akin to vaping. Now, we do detect for edibles, and we are going to be doing a larger study to be able to define the detection window. Small studies have been conducted, and we've proven that our breathalyzer does detect for edibles.
In what ways does the Hound Cannabis Breathalizer provide a more equitable approach to workplace drug testing compared to traditional methods that detect THC presence over extended periods?
So safety and fairness is the core of our brand promise. And if you think about that, today legalization has allowed more and more individuals to gain access to cannabis. As they gain that access, they have the ability to use it recreationally or for medical use whenever they desire. How we are more equitable is we basically allow for the use of that cannabis to occur on personal time off. And we ensure that by keeping our detection window at 2 to 3 hours, we are not unfairly discriminating against those that are choosing to use it on their personal time. People that are as a result using it on their way to work or during work hours are those that are at most risk from a safety standpoint to those around them and themselves. And our imperative is to make sure that we are able to detect for that recent use, keeping it safe, right, for the individual and those around them, but also fair, because the legal law allows them to be able to consume it on their own time. So because urine detects for days, oral fluid, they state anywhere between 12 to 72 hours of detection. Hair is past use for 3 months. So their imperative is very different as compared to ours. And that's why when we conduct our studies, we actually have people go out and smoke. And we say, smoke up to a gram, come inside, and then take our breath test. And when they take our breath test, over 40 subjects, we've been able to show that the detection window is truly 2 to 3 hours. In fact, there's a study that's also been out there by the National Highway Traffic Association, if I'm not mistaken. And they have also shown that people are high for what they consider high for up to 2 hours post smoking. And then they go back to normal levels 3 to 5 hours post smoke. And so it really matches up with what we're showing with our clinical studies as well.
Can you discuss the return on investment that companies might expect from implementing the Hound Cannabis Breathalizer, especially in terms of expanding candidate pools and retaining employees while ensuring safety?
A lot of typical or traditional drug testing companies gain their positive ROIs based on, or gain their ROIs based on positive results. We really do flip that paradigm. And I touched a little bit on safety and fairness. How we do that is, in essence, we gain ROI based on negative results. And how we do that is, in essence, by that limited detection window. Now, if you're only going to be rendered a positive or non-negative between 2 to 3 hours post-smoke or post-consumption, now, in essence, we're opening up that employee pool in a very limited or a tight labor market. So that really does allow employers to be able to say, all right, we're not going to be detecting for that past use for Friday night when you came into a Monday morning. It really is if you're using prior to coming into work or during the workday that we're detecting for. So now we're opening up that pool of employees that are eligible to work in a safe and fair manner. The nice thing is Hound Labs we've got a lot of industry experts that work with us, that we consult with as well. So we've really been able to create a ROI calculator on our website as well. And it's specific to industry. And so you can go on our website based on industry, calculate out what that ROI is going to be for your business based on our overall background methodology that the teams come up.
How does the ease of use and the observed collection process of the Hound Cannabis Breathalizer enhance the accuracy and reliability of drug testing in the workplace?
So our Hound Breathalizer today has multiple components. We have a base station that is used to be able to enable a breath collection. We have a cartridge, which looks something like this, where in essence, we are collecting the sample from the donor and the air. And our base station is structured in a way where it is a simple touchscreen design, which allows the collector to facilitate a collection in a methodical way using our product. We also have an electronic chain of custody process to ensure that as the collection occurs, it is being transmitted appropriately to our lab partner to alert them that a collection is coming and a specimen's on its way. Because it's breath that's being collected, we're in a situation where the sample cannot be adulterated, unlike some other sample types that can be adulterated because it's not happening in front of a collector. What we also do is when we send that sample over to our lab, it's being sent and our lab is accessioning that sample out of our cartridge kit, and they're running it on a standard, what is called LCMS technology. LCMS stands for liquid chromatography mass spectrometry, and it basically is a standard lab testing methodology which provides ultra sensitivity to be able to get the result. While a lot of other tests for our product at, I would say, the nanograms, our test tests it in the picograms. And so that 500x extra level of sensitivity really is what allows us to use standard technology, but also enables that detection window and that accuracy of our product to be in place.
Given the varying legal landscapes and industry-specific requirements, how does THC breath testing with the Hound Cannabis Breathalizer cater to the needs of different employers across various regions and sectors?
Yeah, so the legalization of cannabis across the US is substantial, right? And what we have seen is as more and more states make it legal for recreation, but also for medical use, the overall positivity rates have gone up substantially. So in fact, Quest releases a drug testing index, and in their index, the positivity rates in their last published report has been the highest that it's been in the last 25 years. And so that huge increase means that as positivity increases, laws are also changing. So California, for example, has come out with a new AB 2188 law, which is essentially changing the employee's protection as it relates to cannabis testing. It no longer allows, for example, the use of urine in being able to detect for cannabis. Now, that changing landscape means that employers have to adapt their policies, their approaches for essentially the testing of cannabis. Now, cannabis can be used, or the testing is used for whether it's post-incident, random, reasonable suspicion, or pre-employment. Employers are using testing for a variety of different reasons. Our Hound Breathalizer is really one that allows for the detection of recent use. It complies with all laws that are out there today. And our recommendation is, even with the changing landscape, our technology is the preferred technology because it addresses that changing landscape and it allows for that equity for the employer, but also the employee.
With the Hound Cannabis Breathalizer now available in its collaboration with Quest Diagnostics for lab processing, what immediate benefits can employers expect in terms of test processing and result reliability?
So the nice thing about having Quest as a lab partner is that we are able to collect our product, collect the sample, and send it to Quest. We've worked with them to be able to integrate with their systems. And so the electronic chain of custody that I touched on a little bit allows Quest to know what samples are coming, process those samples, and provide results reporting really within an agreed upon turnaround time that we have with them. They also use that standard lab-based LCMS technology to be able to run our samples. And we've spent time with them validating that method and ensuring that the results reporting is seamless as well. What I would say is overall reliability and accuracy can really come from our overall test results and our clinical studies. So when we ran clinical studies, 100% of our subjects were detected within a 15-minute to 1 hour window. And at 6 hours, those that had consumed cannabis did not detect at all. And so that gives us a high level of reliability of our results and ensures that the overall false positives or negatives are extremely low as well for our overall technology.
Could you elaborate on the process and technology behind the Hound Cannabis Breathalizer's ability to accurately capture and analyze a breath sample for THC?
So as I mentioned, we have a base station, and that base station is responsible for collecting both donor as well as air. These are the cartridges that we have. The one that I'm showing you right now is the cartridge that is used for donor collection. Now, what happens is essentially a collector will set up this infrastructure where they will, in essence, be guided through, from a base station standpoint, how to enable the collection. They will take the cartridge and they will provide the cartridge with a mouthpiece for the donor for a collection. The donor will breathe into the cartridge, and over a period of, I would say, on average, 3 to 4 minutes or 2 to 4 minutes, a collection will occur. The donor has the ability to pause during the collection while they are giving their breath sample. Within our cartridge is really a medium that we use to be able to collect that breath. Once that breath is collected on that medium, what we do is we compress our cartridge and we preserve that sample. That sample that is then collected from the breath is then sent with an appropriate amount of tamper requirements over to Quest for processing. Now, we've worked with Quest so that when they get the cartridges, they're able to open them up. They're able to ensure that the sample has not been tampered with, and they're able to extract or accession the sample so that it can be tested on our technology. So end to end, we've really enabled and partnered to ensure that we can collect the sample appropriately, preserve that sample, ensure its efficacy for a period of time, and then ensure it has the time to be processed appropriately at the lab, and then a report or a result be reported to the collector.
Are there any insights or findings from your clinical studies or field tests that demonstrate the effectiveness of the Hound Cannabis Breathalizer in real-world workplace settings?
It is. Our Hound Breathalizer is available for sale at this point in time. And we have started to use it with a number of employers. We've got a large number of systems that are already deployed in the field. And we are getting results to those employers from our Quest relationship. Now, we've done primarily clinical studies ourselves, which I've touched on a little bit, which really talk about defining what our detection windows are and ensuring our accuracy and reliability are paramount, that minimize the overall false positives and negatives that we have today. So yeah, it's in circulation and it's being used effectively.
How accurate is the detection, and is there a plus-minus margin of error?
Yeah, so we believe that because we are using standard drug testing technology, which is LCMS, for the detection, and our ultra sensitivity that we have in place, combined with that standard method, allows us to really ensure that we've got a very high accuracy. We've also done those clinical studies and we're getting ready to publish our data as well. And those clinical studies have shown, to the point that I'd made earlier, that at 15 minutes to an hour, we're having 100% detection, and at 6 hours, we have 0% detection. And that's really ensuring that our false positives and negatives stay at a very, very low level.
Are there any other drugs or medications that could trigger a false positive or otherwise affect the accuracy of the device?
Yeah, great question. So we've worked very closely with Quest to take a look at a number of potential interfering compounds. And we've ensured that we don't have any interfering compounds with those. Now we continue to do additional testing on different types of compounds that are out there. But at this point in time, nothing has been found to interfere with the product as it stands.
Have there been or do you anticipate any legal challenges?
Yeah, so our product is not dissimilar than what other drugs use out there in terms of testing technologies. Given that we've chosen to use that standard LCMS technology, and that has held up in a court of law, we have full confidence that our product as well will hold up in a court of law, given that we've been very deliberate, leveraging industry experts, internal experts to define our process, as well as our methods and methods of detection, similar to what is released out there already in the space.
Any final thoughts or statements you'd like to make?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So the Hound Cannabis Breathalizer, I would say, is one that really focuses on safety and fairness. It's one of the leading reasons why many of us have come to Hound to work at, because as legalization exists, as legislation changes, it is critical that employees as well as employers have an opportunity to really be able to have a solution that detects for recent use. And knowing that there isn't anything on the market that enables that, and ensures the safety of people as well as the fairness aspect, it's critical that our solution is one that starts to get traction in the overall space. I would say that it's exciting that our technology is able to do what it is. And I do think that it's going to be a game changer in the industry. And I do think that at the end of the day, our recency of detection is what's going to ensure that employers have and employees have that fairness aspect and safety aspect that's driven.
And that wraps up our enlightening conversation with Tamanna Prashar, the COO of Hound Labs Inc. Today we've uncovered the science and strategy behind a device that's not just pioneering, but is also shaping the future of workplace drug testing. From its unmatched accuracy in detecting recent cannabis use to its role in navigating the complex terrain of legalization and employment laws, the Hound Cannabis Breathalizer stands as a testament to innovation that truly cares about the safety and rights of individuals. For employers and employees navigating the evolving world of cannabis legalization, Hound Labs Inc. offers not just a tool, but a bridge towards a safer, more inclusive workplace. We look forward to seeing how their breakthrough technology continues to impact industries and legalization alike. Thank you for tuning into the NASP channel. If this conversation sparked your interest, or if you have thoughts to share, don't hesitate to comment below. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more interviews that bring you to the heart of innovation. Until next time, stay safe out there.